Boxing King Media in association with Boxroad. Delighted to be joined all the way from Belfast by Dev Sahni. Dev, Boxing King Media, unfortunately, is only one of us. We couldn't make it to Ireland, so we thought we'd get Dev Sahni as the official spokesperson for everything at Queensbury to speak to us and break down the card and what's going on over there. What's the atmosphere like, and what's the crowd like? And because I know the Irish fans, having experienced it last week, I tell you what, they're the best fans I've come across.
Yeah, they're amazing fans. I've been to Belfast a few times, and the fans are always fantastic. And it's similar to the Dublin thing. All the things that was being said about Dublin, the knowledgeable fans, etc. You can take that and just apply it to Belfast. I think there's like 100 miles between them. So I'm expecting on Saturday that fans will be in from the first bell up until the very last, and they're knowledgeable fans. They'll know about every fighter up and down the card. We had the press conference yesterday, and there's a bit of a tension between Conlan and Lopez, and Conlan ultimately said, I respect you for coming over. Thanks for coming over, but I'm going to take your belt. Sorry, mate, that kind of thing. And his fans were going mad in the press conference crowd. You had Lopez and his team going and still, and there was and the new. It's good. There's a good vibe around this, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got the ceremonial weigh-in coming up a little bit later on today. Expecting plenty of buzz, plenty of noise. Belfast is a proper fight city, and I'm seeing that. Just like it is one of those where you get in a cab and the cab driver just knows what's happening. He knows there's a show going on. He knows about Mick Conlan. I was in one where he was telling me about he was telling me stories about Carl Frampton from back in the day. He was telling me, oh look, there's a Mick Conlan memorial thing up around here. His parents live over here, and all of this stuff. It's really nice to be here. It's cool.
That's literally what you said there, the same experience I had in Dublin. The taxi drivers, they were all aware of Katie, etc. So Luis Alberto Lopez, obviously we saw him last time round in a scrappy fight with Josh Warrington, and Josh still feels like he should have got the nod that day. Conlan, I spoke to Eddie Hearn yesterday, and obviously he's kind of worked with both of these fighters, and he said if Mick survives the first 6 rounds, he could nick it on points. Is that how you're seeing it? Is it a case of survival for Mick, or does he just outbox this guy?
I think he's got to outbox him, basically. I think it's a tough fight. Lopez might be the best featherweight in the world. I think it's him and Lara who stand out for me. I know Rosie Ramirez has got himself a strap now as well, but for me it's between them two at the moment. He's a tricky customer, and I think a lot of what people are saying about how Mick's going to have Belfast behind him, the home fans will cheer him on, etc., etc. But this Lopez guy is wired up a bit different. He's just a crazy guy. He went to Leeds. He went to Josh Warrington's hometown with those hostile fans, who won't have been very nice to him, who won't have been saying very nice things, and they'd have booed the life out of him. He had Josh Warrington in front of him, fighting how he fights, getting rough and ready, and he still managed to emerge with the IBF World Featherweight title with all of those things going against him. So you've got to give him credit. It's a hard fight. But Mick Conlan he's been cool all week. I think he knows that for the Lee Wood fight, he got dragged in a little bit into the back and forth. He lost his head a little bit at times, even in the ring walk and stuff like that. It's just a little bit too hyped up. But he seems cool. He seems like a man on a mission. He seems like he knows what he's got to do. It feels like they've got a plan. Adam Booth said at this point, Mick Conlan is at the apex of his career. He's 31 years old. He's learned from the loss. He's had those 12 rounds against Lee Wood, almost 12 rounds against Lee Wood, and he just knows who he is as a fighter. So it may well be his time, but it's a tough task.
In short, does he do it, Dev? And if he does, how?
I don't know. If he does it on points. I don't think he'll knock him out.
Is he the underdog?
I looked at the odds 2 days ago, and this is literally, there was no splitting them. It's said, I don't know, 10 to 11 for both of them. So you don't get more of a 50-50 than that when they've literally got the same odds. So in terms of all the fights happening this weekend, you probably won't see that with any other fight happening this weekend anywhere on any of the cards where it's literally a 50-50. I don't know the answer, mate. I don't know who's going to win, but if Mick does it, I think it'll be on points.
Good stuff. And obviously you've got your favourite fighter, Nick Ball, on the undercard, defending his WBC silver title. What do you know about his opponent? I know he's undefeated coming from South Africa, but that could mean anything.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite fighters, Nick Ball. I think he's fantastic. Ludumo Lamati is he was a former IBO champion at super bantamweight. Athletic guy. He's up at featherweight now. He looks pretty destructive at featherweight, but he won't have boxed anyone like Nick Ball so far in his career. But maybe Nick Ball hasn't boxed anyone like this guy. This guy's come over. He's very confident. He seems quite chilled. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Um, and it could be the toughest fight of Nick Ball's career. You know, he's a serious guy, and we shall see. But I'm hoping for Nick Ball, you know, to do the job and jump up to the top rope and do that sort of strap me up kind of gesture, like Errol Spence did all those years ago,
He
and
seems too
announce.
reserved to do that. He seems like a too much of a reserved guy to do that.
Say that again, mate.
Seems like too much of a reserved guy to do that. I can't
I
imagine
don't
it.
know. I mean, when he beat Isaac Lowe, I'm pretty sure he was jumping up to the top rope. I don't know about like strap me up or anything. That was more of a breakthrough performance. But I think when he wins, he gets quite hyped up, especially if he does it in style. So hopefully he can pull it off. And obviously, look, there's a reason why he's on this card. There's a reason why he's boxing on this night. The eyes of the world are talking about the featherweight division this weekend, and maybe if he does the right things at the right times, a few other things go his way, he could be the name that everyone's talking about at the end of Saturday night.
Let's just say he wins, Conlan wins, Lee Wood wins, a good one for us Brits. What route would you want Nick Ball to go down? Which champion should he challenge?
Either. Like, it doesn't matter at all. I think with him, yeah, and look, you'll find out more on Saturday. If he loses to this guy, yeah, it's kind of, you have to regroup and go again. But he won't be phased by any of these guys at all. He'd have done sparring with some of them in the past as well. He's ready to go with anyone, and I don't think it makes a difference if it's Conlan, if it's Leewood, Ramirez, any of these guys. You got to think, like, people look at the size difference as well, because he's so short at featherweight, but everyone's bigger than him, and he's been boxing bigger people his whole life. It's like Gervonta Davis. It's kind of, he's Liverpool's answer to Gervonta Davis, and he's just he's going through these people. So none of these opponents will phase him.
And the fight, I think I can pick out for you to keep an eye out for his Pierce O'Leary's fight, because his opponent, I watched his last fight from ringside against Levi Kinciona, and that guy brings smoke. He literally is just like a one-way train. So that's going to be a really good fight, that, because that their styles and mix nicely. With regard to Padraig McCrory, what is happening with him? Obviously, he won the IBO title. He's not defending it this time around, I don't think. I just feel like he's 34. He needs that big opportunity somewhere, don't he? Who's going to get him that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's not with Queensbury. He's a Conlan boxing fighter, Padraig McCrory. I met him yesterday. He's a lovely fella. Turned pro at 29, so he turned pro quite late. Had a bit of a break from boxing, and yeah, he's up against the clock a little bit. 34 now. Had that big win against Leon Bunn in Germany, where he wasn't supposed to win. I think Jamie Conlan said the Sauerlands made a bit of a mistake by picking Poddy, and they were trying to get him, I believe, as equal Falcao. There are a couple of others' names. I think Heffron was touted at one point as well, but everyone's kind of gone separate ways, and he's been left there. And he is fighting Diego Ramirez. So, you know, Ramirez, we know he knocked out Bradley Skeet back in the day. Gave Nathan Heaney a good fight as well recently. Let's see. I think, you know, he's got the perfect stage to make a statement and hopefully attract some of these bigger names to come and fight him.
Definitely so. And then just looking across the pond, we've got two big shows. We've got a Coley CBS. Again, Eddie Henner spoke to him yesterday. I don't know if he was just saying this just for bants, but he's picked CBS by knockout against Okoli. I'll ask you about that. How do you see that one unfolding?
I don't agree. But you know, that's the great thing with boxing. People have different opinions. I don't see any way that CBS wins the fight. I rate Lawrence Okoli. I think it's him or Opatai who's the best cruiserweight in the world right now. I think he's a very, very difficult man to beat. The best thing that CBS has going for him is he's got Bournemouth there behind him. You know, people will be booing Okoli. I don't know if that will affect him at all, Okoli, to be honest.
He's used to it.
Yeah, he's used to that thing at times. He's got a world-class trainer in Shane McGuigan. you know, these who knows Okolie as well. These are good things he's got going for him, but I just don't think he's good enough to beat Lawrence Okolie. It's no slight on him. I just think Okolie's better. And that happens. I think Okolie's very, very good. He'll just negate whatever he does. He can win a boring fight, or he might even knock him out. I think it's really up to Okolie how that fight goes.
We'll get to the juicy bits, Dev. We saw yesterday, was it day before, announced that Frank Warren has lost the purse bid for Usyk Dubois. There's rumours also coming out that Dubois may part with Queensberry. And obviously, I don't know what the deal he has left with Queensberry, but what is the situation as you understand it right now with regards to Alex Krasak winning that purse bid?
I don't know anything about this Dubois parting with Queensberry. I haven't heard anything like that. But I'm seeing George later. I'm sure he will talk about that. But yeah, literally, I've not heard anything about that. Usyk winning the purse bid. Yeah, I mean they had 75% of the bid to play with. I think as soon as it went to purse bid, you know, it's likely that that's going to happen when someone's got 75% and you're the challenger for the three belts. So, you know, congrats to them. And
is that the split 75-25?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it'd be more than that.
I'm pretty sure that's public knowledge because they did it with it was an $8 million winning bid, wasn't it? And people are saying I was going to get a couple of mil for it. So yeah, that's what happens when fights go to purse bids. There's winners and there's losers, and Usyk's team have won. So let's see what happens with it. But you know, Dubois got to back himself, and we are backing him.
I think one of the biggest talking points in all this is the fact that Dubois has just left Shane McGuigan. It obviously seems like a strange time before the biggest fight, and obviously Shane got a lot of credit for the way Dubois pulled it around in his last fight. Are you able to tell us, you know, what's happened there? Because I'll ask you. Did you know anything? Do you know anything?
No, like literally, I'm a really bad person to ask on this because I haven't been up to speed. I've found out some of this stuff just like through the media. So yeah, I don't know. I can only just the stuff that's been rumored, like there was a fallout or so. I don't know, but
there's an article that suggests that there was a family dispute, and it says that Shane continued to work with Caroline, and in that Daniel left. So obviously you can assume all sorts out of that, but it appears that both brother and sister can't train together, I'm assuming. And obviously it's been revealed that Daniel is now going to be training with Derek Chisora's old coach,
Don Charles. Yeah.
Don Charles. The name was escaping me. So what do you think? You know, Don Charles, he's obviously an experienced guy. What can he bring to the table for Daniel?
Experienced guy. He's an experienced guy, and you know he'll be an older father type figure in there. And yeah, look, let's see. I mean, I don't know about any of that stuff, but the good thing is now that this fight is going to happen, the fight's been made. You'll get to talk to Daniel Dubois soon enough, and he can tell you everything that's happened, or if he wants to, or if he doesn't want to, then he won't. But yeah, I don't know. Don Charles, you know, I've always rated Don Charles. Don Charles he's a cool guy to be around, and this could be his break again. You know, he had Chisora, he's had Chisora all those years, and they did some good things together. I'm pretty sure it was Don Charles who was with Chisora when Chisora gave Vitaly Klitschko the fight of his life. So maybe he doesn't get enough credit. Maybe it's about time he had a marquee fighter come to him again. So let's see. Let's give him a chance.
Do you make Daniel an underdog in that fight?
Yes.
And
absolutely, of course, he's an underdog.
Because I saw some people suggesting that the only way he can win is by knocking him out. There's no way he outboxes Usyk. What would you make of that?
That's a pretty good way to win, isn't it? In heavyweight boxing, I mean, I'm not sure how many people are going to be outboxing Usyk. I think it's a very short list that you can count on one hand who could probably outbox Alexander Usyk. I don't count Daniel Dubois on that list, but I count Daniel Dubois on that list along with many others as heavyweights who could knock Alexander Usyk out. That's what he's got to try and do. He has a guy in front of him who is 10 years older than him. He has a guy in front of him who is smaller than him, who has only been campaigning at the weight for 3 years or so. And he's got a guy in front of him that, if he's thinking correctly here, Daniel Dubois, if he doesn't overthink it perhaps like other fighters have done in the past. He's just got a little old fella in front of him that he's got to go and knock out. He knocks people out all the time, Daniel Dubois. So that's how he should be approaching it. And that's how I think he will be approaching it. I think it's a seek and destroy mission. I don't think he's going to overthink this at all.
I think I'm going to do what you normally do, Dev. If we ever end up in the same room and Usyk's there, I'll tell him that you described him as a little old fella. What he thinks.
I mean, look, I'm saying that's how Dubois got to see him. But yeah, I'm sure Usyk will be fine with me suggesting as such.
And the last thing, Tyson, what's going on with Tyson? We're seeing different opponents getting named. Is there anything we can expect from Queensberry? You know, and also his contractual situation. I think there's a suggestion that he may be a free agent. I know Eddie asked him about it yesterday, and he kind of said it's Tyson being Tyson. What would you make of all that?
Yeah, wrong guy to ask about contracts or anything like that. But look, I love Tyson Fury. I love that he's in the news every day talking about different fights and different fighters and different destinations and different venues. It's all part of the show, and it's all good fun. I guess what I would say is, like, nothing's really official until you see a fight poster and then you see it announced and this is all happening. Then there's a press conference. But at the moment, like, there's just like talk and hot air and and then rumors and stuff like that, and people just lose their minds, like, what, he can't fight him, what, he can't do this. Just relax. Let's see what happens, because no one knows what's going to happen next. I'm sure when Tyson comes back from Australia, they'll have a big chat with Queensberry and see what's happening.
Hopefully, yeah. Anything else, Dev, you want to speak about before we let you go?
Anything else? No, I think we're good, mate. We just there's obviously a 3-way clash. All of them are excellent shows. Our ring walk time for Mick Conlan is at 9 o'clock, so we're going earlier as a bit of a treat to the boxing fans. So it won't clash with Laura Wood, which I believe is going at 10 o'clock from everything that I've heard. I don't know when Okoli's going, but we are going at 9 o'clock. And when that ring walk happens for Mick Conlan, it will be so memorable. It will be iconic. It will be like Katie Taylor's one, really. That kind of homecoming feeling. I just hope that he doesn't lose himself in it, and it doesn't get overawed by it, because it's going to be quite a big emotional moment, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Genuinely, well, I wish you guys at Queensberry all the best. Have a good trip, and we'll see you at the next one. What is the next one? York? Is it York Hall?
York Hall, June 9th. We back. Big D, David Adelaide, gonna knock some man out. I don't know who yet. I don't know if we've announced it yet, but he's going to knock someone out. He's going to beat his chest, and then he's going to walk right towards that British title. Let's see if he wants to do that. But yeah, he's always good fun. And by the way, congrats on 400,000 subscribers. Well done. Smashing it on your own. Well done.
Thank you, Dev. The plan is to get to 1 million before end of next year. That's the target we're working on.
Yeah, I mean, your growth rate is just mental. So there is absolutely no reason why you can't do that. Well
and I can assure anyone listening, it's no bots, because I've seen a few people comment saying, there must be bots. But yeah, I wish I knew how to get bots, but it's all legit, and it's all hard work and content creation.
Yeah, ignore the haters, mate. Ignore the haters.
Bring it on. Dev, Sahni, thank you, and we'll catch you soon.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate. See you later.